Spider-Man Brand New Day has been out for a few weeks now and it's doing great. And rightfully so. Spider-Man is without a doubt one of, if not the most popular superhero of all time. So it's no surprise to see these box office numbers. I mean, look at it. It had a bigger opening weekend than Endgame. That's just the power of Spider-Man. We haven't seen Batman or Superman hit these numbers in years. Though if I'm being honest, I'm in the minority here. I did not think that this movie was as perfect as everyone online is seeming to say it is. This isn't to say that this is a bad movie, far from it. This movie was pretty good. Definitely the best Holland Spider-Man. I mean, those original 3 movies, now I won't say they were bad. They had qualities in them that I liked. But this movie is the first time I've ever looked at Tom Holland Spider-Man and been like, holy shit, it's beautiful. But this movie isn't without its issues. I'm not going to get into a lot of detail about my gripes with this movie because this is not a video where I'm planning to talk about the issues and just shit talk the movie or even praise the movie. I'm honestly just surprised with the online reactions to the movie. It feels like I'm going insane. I'm seeing people say that this is the best MCU movie post Endgame, best MCU movie of all time, best Spider-Man movie, best movie of the year. No, 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 and no. But I digress. Anyways, I said I wasn't going to just be a negative Nancy, but that's all I've been doing in this video so far, so let's move on. I wanted to take the time to talk about what I would like to see for Spider-Man 5, and at the same time detail what worked and what didn't from Brand New Day. Okay, so I am not a writer, so I'm not going to pinpoint an entire film structure from beginning to end. That's just not my type of vibe. Rather, I'll just break down story beats and elements I would like to see explored in this movie, while still crossing over things that did work from Brand New Day. Now, my idea, if I'm being honest, isn't very unique. I'm not going to be the first person to suggest this story, and I probably won't be the last. Spider-Man 5 should adapt the Spectacular Spider-Man issues 107 through 110, otherwise known as The Death of Jean DeWolf. Now, the MCU doesn't regularly adapt comic book storylines. The best you'll usually get is them recreating a comic book cover. So I'm not expecting them to accurately adapt it, nor do I want just like a page-for-page adaptation. I just don't see it working with the way the MCU is usually structured. Now listen to me, the inexperienced writer, as I give you my pitch for Spider-Man 5. After the events of Brand New Day, Peter has changed up his life. He is no longer neglecting being Peter Parker and is back to living both of his identities. He has made more of a friendship with MJ and Ned, and while he knows things will never quite be the same as they were, he's just glad to have them back in his life. He even wears his new black suit across New York, which he got during the events of Secret Wars. Okay, yeah, this is a side tangent. I don't want to get too deep into it. This is basically me betting that Peter will, without a doubt, get the black suit in Secret Wars. Like, let's be honest, it's going to happen. Anyway, things are looking great for both Peter Parker and Spider-Man until one night when everything changes. Jean DeWolf is dead. She is found in her apartment with a bullet to the chest. Her death is ruled a murder. Her death really hits deep for Peter. Not only had she been a close contact from the NYPD looking out for him, but the two of them had really developed a friendship, even if DeWolf didn't know Spider-Man's identity. The moment Peter hears the news, he begins looking for leads of who could be involved in the murder. Now, in Brand New Day, I did have some peeves with how Peter went about investigating. I'm not really a fan of the whole EVAI. I feel he relied a little too much on it, and it took away from letting the writers get creative with how Peter figured things out to fight against his foes. Also, Peter being pro-surveillance is stupid. I don't care, call me the friend that's too woke. So this time around, Peter would start figuring things out for himself. It would be cool to see him get more help from more characters in the Marvel Universe. That is something I really liked about Brand New Day. The MCU felt like a living, thriving universe. Peter was going to Bruce Banner, to Yelena. He was going out of his way to find answers, so he could continue this. Maybe he meets up with Yelena again, talks to Punisher, Captain America even. Heck, I've seen some people throw around the idea of the Fantastic Four showing up, but I have someone else in mind for this storyline. I think if there's anyone fans want to see in this movie, it's Daredevil. Fans have been dying for a Spider-Man Daredevil team-up, especially since we saw them meet in No Way Home, and this would be the perfect opportunity for Daredevil to show up. Not only is this more of a street-level story, but Daredevil plays a main role in the DeWolf storyline. As Spider-Man and Daredevil go deeper into the case, Peter becomes more spiteful. Together they find a mass assailant who goes by the name of Sin Eater. While his identity is unknown, it gets the two closer to finding the killer. Now this is where I would stray away from the comic. After some deep digging, the two heroes realize that Sin Eater was in cahoots with someone who also wanted DeWolf out of the picture. Together, Daredevil and Spider-Man infiltrate the hideouts of New York's biggest crime lords to find answers. Tombstone, Hammerhead, and the Kingpin. Yes, I know Kingpin can't appear legally or whatever, but let a man dream, okay? Now, I wouldn't make Kingpin the main villain in this film. Not only do I think we've seen a lot of him in Daredevil, but I think he would lose a lot of his threatening presence in a PG-13 movie when we've seen him crush skulls. But for the sake of this movie, the three crime lords become the main suspects related to the murder. A detective story with Spider-Man and Daredevil trying to figure out who was responsible for the murder of Jean DeWolf. Now I hear you asking, what would this film offer compared to the previous films? Well, I would have the themes of this movie revolve around the justice system. The movie would focus on Peter questioning whether letting criminals live is the inherently right thing to do. Now yes, No Way Home already dealt with Peter almost crossing that line and killing the Goblin, but I think that this would be a little different. Whereas in that movie, Peter just lost himself with the grief of Aunt May's death. This movie would see Peter question whether he's actually helped New York by just repeatedly sending these criminals back to prison over and over again. He begins wondering if it's worth the cost of the lives of people like Jean DeWolf. Now, I don't want to spoil too much, but if you read the comic, you would know Sin Eater's motives. And this also connects to the same thing about the justice system and its flaws. And Daredevil would be there serving as another hero who also believes in the no-kill strategy, while also believing in the justice system. Now again, there is a lot from the DeWolf storyline that I would like to pull from, but I think it is such a good 4-issue comic run that you should go out and read it yourself. Now, while Sin Eater isn't one of the most popular Spider-Man villains out there, I think switching it up is okay. I'm trying to be realistic here because as much as I would love to see the MCU introduce a Norman Osborn and Otto Octavius, these would be really cool to see, but Kevin Feige seems to have like a hate boner for villains who have been done already. So, if we're sticking with new ones, Sin Eater. Hell, if you want to spice it up, throw Kraven the Hunter in there. Maybe while Spider-Man and Daredevil are fighting against these crime lords, one of them, like Hammerhead, contracts a killer, Kraven the Hunter, to go after Spider-Man and Daredevil. This could lead to some really cool shit. Kraven the Hunter is the only major Spider-Man villain that has yet to be adapted in a live-action movie. And we're not talking about that shitty one. But you never really know with the MCU. I don't think anybody could have guessed the plot for Brand New Day because the MCU just always chooses to do its own thing. So even if they adapt this storyline, who knows if they'll even use Sin Eater? Who knows? Maybe they'll grab inspiration from the Ultimate Universe instead. During the events of Brand New Day, Peter rejects being himself. He focuses on being Spider-Man, which is why he's in costume for more of the movie. But the consequence of that is that we leave a few questions unanswered. The one that sticks out the most is, where does Peter get all his money from? Throughout the film, he has his AI, his really nice suit, a suit fixer, an apartment. He fucking uses a Samsung phone and orders Little Caesars every other day. How does he afford all this? So maybe now that this movie is focusing more on Peter being Peter, we can see some of this. Maybe he finally starts working for the Daily Bugle. I doubt a freelance photographer could make that type of money to even afford all the things that we see him use in Brand New Day. But hey, it's something. Just so we know how he's getting this money to begin with. Along with that, I would really like this movie to focus more on MJ and Ned as characters. Because as much as I like these characters, they hardly do anything. We're 4 movies in now and we don't really have any sort of arc or journey or character growth between the two of them. I don't mean to glaze the Tobey movies, but I mean it's basic story structure. That movie had MJ and Harry, and throughout the 3 movies we see them grow, we see them have conflict with Peter. We see how Peter being Spider-Man affects their daily lives even without them knowing his secret identity. So I would just like more of that, especially because now, I mean, spoilers for Brand New Day, but Peter and Ned are friends again, which means Peter will definitely be hanging out with MJ, which means he will have to hang out with MJ's boyfriend. This will definitely be a conflict. Yes, show me some Peter Parker conflict alongside the Spider-Man stuff. It will probably be a while until Spider-Man 5, but I will be ready. Spider-Man Brand New Day, despite its flaws, did give me hope for what's to come in the next film. I really hope Destin Cretton returns for the next film because he killed it. I just want Spider-Man to have a proper villain. We've never really had a villain who just wanted Spider-Man dead. So please, just do it, whether it's Tombstone or Hammerhead or Sin Eater, somebody who is just an arch enemy of Spider-Man. Spider-Man has such a big rogues gallery of supervillains, and it feels like we haven't seen the full potential. I want to see somebody truly sinister. I doubt that Scorpion can really be the big bag. We saw his ass get beat throughout Brand New Day, so I don't really see how we could get him back again. Unless we do that Venom storyline, I don't think that should be for the 5th. I think we need a movie where the black suit is just on Peter. Well, that's all I've got for you guys. What a concept, right? So tell me what you think. Is this the most basic fan plot you ever heard? Do you like it? Do you think Tom Holland should legally be allowed to waterboard me with his Bureau non-alcoholic drink? Let me know in the comments. That's it. Bye.